everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted. And today we will be talking about Butler Alcorn State results for Michigan State and previewing Arizona. So jump right into it. Johnny, I know you were at the Butler game. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great win, right? Winning 74 to 54. Definitely a much needed performance, right? I think it's probably the best performance of the year up to far. Playing, a big game, Big East opponent, Gavitt games, right? You want to come out and kind of just, that was the kind of performance we were looking for, right? Izzo kind of changes up the lineup for the first time this year and goes with Carson Cooper getting his first career start. And I think that made, definitely a big difference, right? Cooper definitely had I think he played a great game, even though he only had 3 points, right? But just his ability to rebound, and I thought his defense was excellent, right? Where he was excellent at staying vertical, which is so big, even for someone that's 7 foot. So I think seeing that change was good, and just a lot better from Hogard, and just a really good performance all around.
Yeah, I said that in the last episode. I was hoping that Izzo would put in Cooper and take out Sissoko, and their minutes were very similar, like the Duke game, just a little bit of the change, like you said. And yeah, I agree 100% with everything you said. Cooper was a beast on the defensive end. He's got such active hands and stays vertical. He's just such a wall back there. And I thought he was awesome on the glass. Like you said, he had 11 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. So Cooper definitely was making his impact felt. And yeah, you also touched on Hogard. I thought, was definitely a big part of that. 14 points, that was his highest offensive output so far this season in terms of scoring. It was 5 and 11 from the field, so it was pretty efficient. The team shot 47.47.5% from the field. So a bit of an improvement there from over the first few games. Only had 10 turnovers. That This team has shown that they don't really turn the ball over a whole lot, at least early in the season, which is definitely good. And yeah, I mean, in terms of the game overall, there's obviously the big Pierre Brooks dunk, and Pierre being a transfer from MSU. How can you take us inside the stadium, Johnny, with the booze? What did you
Yeah.
think about that?
So
And how was it overall inside with the treatment towards Pierre?
So I sit in the is zone, right, lower section, and I'll sit with my friends. And before the game, we're talking obviously about Pierre Brooks, and we're like, at least the three of us we're like, there's no way people are gonna boo him, right? I mean, there shouldn't be any bad blood there. And then they announce him pregame, and everyone starts booing, and we were shocked. I mean, I get it, it's a student section, not everyone's just like, oh, he left us, so. But and then that dunk on Cohen Carr was he definitely
Oh yeah.
envisioned that pregame. He's like, I'm gonna get my chance today. And he let out a nice big, he got a nice earned tech
Oh
there.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah, you definitely could tell his emotions were high, and rightly so, right? He's coming back, kind of he's playing in front of family. So, I thought, all the best to him, right? I think he played a pretty good game. So, but yeah, the crowd was definitely I'm gonna say the crowd wasn't really for him, but no, but good for him though.
Yeah, Pierre had 13 points, and he seems to have found a better home. And it just like you said, it shocked me. I could not believe that he got booed. But also at the end of the day, a lot of the Izzone and a lot of just fans, they're college kid. I mean, we are too. We're college kids, and so a lot of the people don't really understand the whole situation of he wasn't getting playing time here, and he just needed to find a better situation for himself. And I think he did, but I mean, he seemed to. I mean, he didn't have his best game, 4 of 11 from the field, but I think he found a good home. And yeah, I was not pleased, I guess, with the booing, but that's beside the point. So big win for the Spartans, taking down Butler. And then Sunday, the Spartans hosted Alcorn State, and it was a dunk fest. It was a slam dunk fest. And Tyson Walker was out with illness. Trey Holloman started in his place. And we can just start right there. I mean, Trey Holloman, 5 of 5 from 3-point range, 5 of 6 overall from the field. or 6 of 7, excuse me, from the field, 17 points in his first career start. Well, how impressed were you with Trey Holloman?
Yeah, I mean, I've already been very impressed with him up to the Alcorn State right game, coming in and being able to give good minutes, and for him to get his first career start and go 5 of 5 from three was, I think, more than we could have asked for, right? And it was definitely an opportunity for him to come in and get more opportunities to score. But I just love the confidence from, I think you see that second 3 pointer of the game in transition, no thought, just catch and shoot right away. And that's what we're going to need this year off the bench for him, on top of obviously his defensive game and being able to handle the ball. But even if he could shoot just like a 33%, right, come in, catch and shoot guy, yeah, I was just super impressed with him.
Yeah, it's definitely like we've been talking about through the first few episodes and what we've seen from this season. The 3-point shooting has been the biggest lack, or the strongest, the one thing that Michigan State's been lacking so far this season more than anything. And so getting that from a guy who going into the season no one would expect that output from, it's just a really positive sign. It shows the depth that this team has. Some of the other stat lines, Aikens had 13 points, Hogard 11 points, so they were both in double figures. Cohen Carr had 11 points. They were allowed 11, let me tell you that. Some of those dunks are just, he is just so fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's everything advertised, right? And I think it was great to see Carr get a lot of minutes, right? It's just getting him more opportunities, kind of settle into the offense. I still think he's got a long ways to go, just offensively, definitely in like a half court setting. But man, when that you got to get him opportunities, right? Up and down that court. We're in a fast break. You get him down that wing, he's going to go flying towards the rim. And that's where he's at his best. And so I think that's definitely where we got to get him, right? And I would love to see maybe early in the game when he comes in, maybe run something to try and get him going downhill, right? If it's a backdoor, if it's a back screen, right? That just settles him into the game, because I think that could make a huge difference for him.
Yeah, it was really good to see. I thought all of the freshmen got a lot more minutes with Tyson out. It was obviously a much more balanced attack from Michigan State, not having your go-to guy. But I have it written down here: Carr 24 minutes, Booker 19, Fears 20. So all three of the freshmen really getting to make an impact. And Booker, we really saw him shooting a lot. He was 1 for 6 from the uh, 3-point range, excuse me. So maybe not the best shooting performance from him, but I am a fan of him getting up his shots and trying to get more comfortable because again, we need someone that, or Michigan State needs someone that can stretch the floor and really provide another shooter.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, 6'10", 6'11", right? You like to see him inside, but at the same time, he is a great shooter and he's a tough matchup for anyone. Definitely, if you could run a little pick and pop with him, it's open almost every time so far. He's gotten that look. And obviously, like you said, he didn't knock them all down 1 of 6 from three, but the opportunities are going to be there and he's going to continue to grow into that opportunity for the Spartans.
Yeah, so like we were talking about, I mean, this game was really just a highlight fest. The dunks, Cohen Carr doing his thing. I think my favorite might have been Trey going off the backboard to Fears, just guard to guard, getting in on the action, getting in on the fun. So it was definitely a very rowdy environment. Unfortunately, neither of us were there for that game, but yeah, it was definitely like it just looked amazing on social media.
Yeah, I mean, just a fun game to watch. Just watching a little bit on the phone, watching the highlights. Definitely, just kind of that game you need just to give everyone a chance, right? Kind of a Tyson Walker out, kind of a blessing in disguise, right? Just giving those opportunities to the young guys and just an opportunity to run that offense without him, right? I think we've seen throughout this year, Tyson goes out, right? And there's a little bit of just trying to figure out how it's going to work without Tyson in. And I think that was the perfect opportunity to really run the offense, give AJ just the keys, and then Trey, Fears, right? Everyone getting their chance to run the offense. And, it's going to really pay dividends down the road.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Another note, Madi and Carson Cooper, even with the minutes again in Alcorn State game, 19 and 18. So I do like that Izzo is really making or balancing the two out. while having Cooper in the starting lineup because they both bring they just have different games.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook for this college basketball season. We're going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks and predictions throughout the college basketball season. And we are going to have special offers for you, the listeners and the viewers on the Field of 68 each and every week during the season. If you haven't signed up with BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD1500 and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager on BetMGM Sportsbook. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD1500. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if that bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code FIELD1500 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
So now looking ahead, obviously it was a good week for Spartan basketball and all the sports at Michigan State. What a weekend. What a weekend. Hockey school, maybe. So Thanksgiving Day, Michigan State taking on the number 3 ranked team in the country, the Arizona Wildcats, coached by Tommy Lloyd. He's been there for a couple of years now. He's been doing a pretty good job. Arizona 5-0 this year. Obviously, they beat Duke at Cameron Indoor 78-73. That was their big game. What are some things that you see from Arizona so far this season, and what are you expecting to see Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot, right? I mean, they're 5-0, like you said. In those other 4 games outside of Duke, they've scored at least 97 points in all of them. So I think that's kind of telling you, even though, lesser opponents, but they can score, they can get up and down, they look to run, right? And they have a super talented team. Transferred Caleb Love, right, from North Carolina. He's hit some big shots in his career, right? Transfer from San Diego State, Keyshawn Johnson, right, played in the championship last year. Mm-hmm. Super talented front court, Omar Ballo, the freshman, Krivas, who is going to get better and better. They're just super talented. So it should be a fun one on Thursday.
Yeah, Arizona, the last couple of seasons we've seen under Tommy Lloyd that they like to go push it fast. They can all shoot. They can very balanced attack, quick, fast, score a ton of points. They've got 6 guys this season in double averaging at least 10 points a game. So you can tell they are very, very balanced. Like you said, they have 2 transfers that have played in national championship games. So that's something to look out for Arizona later on this season, and a great thing for Tommy Lloyd to have with that March experience. And like you said, with Ballo, the 7-footer, the senior, he's been there and been making an impact for a couple of years at Arizona. Going to be a tough ask for Carson Cooper, or a lot of responsibility for him, because that is a tough matchup. But yeah, like you said, just some numbers on them. They're shooting 52% from the floor, 41% from 3. So they can really, really shoot it and really, really score it.
Yeah, I mean, their guards can really shoot the ball, right? Kylan Boswell, sophomore. I think he's shooting 68% from 3 so far this year, which is an incredible number. 15 of 22 from 3. And he's an excellent guard, right? We're going to see some great matchups with probably, it could be Tyson and Boswell, right? Hogarth and Love, or Akins, right? That's some great matchups there. And then the front court matchup, the centers, Cooper and Mahdi are going to have their hands full with both Ballo and Krivas, right? 7 foot and 7'2". Big guys, strong, right? So, and they look to go inside to these guys all the time. So it's going to be an important matchup inside, and just being able to stay physical with them and really not try and give them as many second chance opportunities as possible.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good matchup and really interesting because I mean we've been talking about how Arizona's offense is prolific. I think we found in this Butler game, the Michigan State Butler game, that Michigan State has started to kind of find their identity as a I think they now have an identity as a defensive team. They are just able to force turnovers and get guys into bad rhythms, and they do it early in the game to get teams a little bit off balance, and it's had an effect on every game. And I just think it's super important that Michigan State does that against Arizona and try and get off to a good start because if they don't get off to a good start and are struggling to shoot the ball, Arizona might just run away with this one.
Yeah, it's a great point. Our defense, right, that Butler game, only holding them to 54, right? Our guards can really defend, and we know that, right? They got great hands in the passing lanes, and just I think it was it's definitely a high percentage amount of steals per game, right? And that's going to be a huge chance to then capitalize in the fast break game with Cohen Carr and Akins, right, running down the floor and then they kick out for threes. So that's a big opportunity trying to force turnovers on them, right? They're a great team. So it's going to be a really fun one to watch on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. And after that, Michigan State takes on Georgia Southern, but definitely looking forward to this Arizona game. Um, yeah, they just beat UT Arlington 101-56. I haven't watched them because I missed the Arizona Duke game, but yeah, I mean they went to Cameron indoor, like they went on the road, so this Arizona team is pretty legit. I think we can say that from like what they've done early on in this season. But yeah, do you have anything else, Johnny?
No, I mean, it's not, you don't have to say it, but they got to bring their A game, right? Hogard playing his two best games back to back, right, versus Butler and Alcorn State. He's got to be able to show up. We got to shoot a high percentage, right? Obviously, we struggled shooting the three early in the year, but the last two games shooting, I think I had, let's see, 35% against Butler and then 40% versus Alcorn State. Got to keep those numbers up, definitely when you're playing Arizona, because they're going to shoot at a high percentage. And it might, obviously we talked about defense, but it might be a game in the high 70s, 80s. So, you expect Tyson Walker to show up, right? Drop maybe 20 a game. It seems like he's going to be able to do that whenever he wants, but it's going to be on Akins, Hall, Hogard, and the rest of the team to really keep up their scoring with Arizona.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really got to be balanced. Obviously, Tyson, he's averaging 23s. That's hot. He's the number one scorer in the Big Ten right now. And yeah, it's gonna have to be a balanced attack. We're gonna have to have we're gonna have to see something from I think Akins is a big key with his shooting because his shooting numbers haven't been great, but he's gonna keep taking his shots and he's gotten good looks and I know they'll start going in. He shot 40 something percent from three last year, maybe just under. And then um Malik Hall, he's been playing a lot better in the last few games after struggling a lot against James Madison. So those two guys I think are going to be really important. Obviously Hogard as well. And it's Michigan State's going to have their hands full with Arizona. Everyone's really going to have to bring their A game, as you said. Um, but yeah, anything else, Johnny?
No, I'm just really excited for Thursday, Thanksgiving, right? No better time to watch Michigan State basketball.
Yeah. Feast week off to a great start. The Maui has been very fun. We saw Purdue take down Gonzaga yesterday in a good one. Gonzaga led by 5 at half, and then Purdue came back with a strong second half. Zach Edey and the Boilermakers are going to be tough this year.
Yeah, right. We played a great game versus them last year at Breslin. I think we go to them this year. But yeah, no, I think they're number 2 in the country right now and led by Zach Edey, right? Braden Smith has been incredible this year. So they're a fun team to watch, and I will definitely be looking forward to watching the rest of that Maui Invitational and some of the other tournaments this week.
Yeah, Feast Week holds a special place in every college basketball fan's heart, and me and Johnny are no different. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up with that. Go follow us on Twitter at UnscriptedPod68. And have a good one, everyone. Thank you for listening. We'll be back. We're gonna do a reaction to Arizona. Yeah.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Yeah. So we'll have that for you guys either probably Friday morning, I would imagine, but we'll figure it out. We will have that coming your way.